Hello and welcome to how I play my level 120 Beastlord. So let's just jump right into it here. So we're going to talk about spells, we're going to talk about my hotbars, we're going to talk about how I have everything multi-bound up. So I can press pretty much one button to play this character. Now I play this character in a multi-box situation, 6 boxing with IS Boxer. And it is the second melee in my priority, right? So if we go here, Hobbs is my first, then I position my Bard, and then I position Stasi here. So I have to think, you know, there's going to be some mobs that I might not be able to get into melee in time to do, you know, and stuff like that. So a lot of my spell choices are kind of based upon that. If you don't know what a multi-bind is, that is where every single key on the keyboard is bound to the exact same button. So you can see here in my case, the 4 key and the 5 key are all bound to the same button. So if I push 4 or 5, any of the 4 or 5 buttons, here you see these are all marked as 5, will trigger in some kind of order, typically from start to finish, but AAs and other instantaneous things are kind of out of band and will go whenever the hell they want. So keep that in mind as I explain this. So the first spell we have is Crystalline Lance. This is one of the first nukes we get in the whole, you know, series of nukes. It is a timer 7. One of the issues I've noticed with the Beastlord is there's lots of different timers on lots of different things, and you got to kind of manage those to make sure you're doing it right. And I think I have an order that works for me, but you know, I could be off, but it works really well. So you can see here, this is a 17,000 nuke, ice-based. At least I think this, yeah, this is cold-based. Then we have Frozen Blight, which is a timer 14, another almost instant nuke, which is 12,000 with 10,000 cold damage. So it's poison and cold in the same spell. Very nice. Unresistible, by the way. Then we got Va Iskara's Maelstrom, which is a timer 15. Totally unrelated to the other ones. That does 12,000 poison, 13,000 disease, and 12,000 ice all in one. All in one of those, plus it has a chance to repeat one of those attacks. So it's kind of, it's an interesting spell, right? If we go to spell damage tab here and click this one, you can see in that one spell, that was one spell cast, right? We got poison, disease, ice, and then we got, you know, the Bard effect, right? And those 3 of those were lucky criticals, doing extremely high amounts of damage. Was the first one just did 181,000. Definitely really nice. We can do it again. You can see there now that one twin cast. So they all do different varying amounts of damage. It's a lot of good damage. I'll just say that. Then we have Zelenak's Bite, which is a 21,000 poison nuke on timer 6, right? So you got to kind of keep track of all the timers in your head. 14, 15, 7, and 6 so far. Keep that in mind. And then we have a timer 5. Which is Anders Verjalia, which is our little mini swarm pet buff, right? All in one. You can see there. Sometimes you get 2 werewolves. Sometimes you don't. But you can see, look at the little guy just whacking away there. Now we have Korra's Amendi, which is a target of target heal. Now I run this. Out of caution, I run this, but it's actually not in my multi-bind right now, but I keep it memorized when I need it. In my multi-bind, I do switch out these 2 here with the poison spell, just because when I need more healing, it's nice to have it. When I don't, I can get rid of it for something else. So it is a, what is that? How many points? 14,000 point heal target of target heal, right? So it'll target whoever the combat dummy's targeting, right? Or whatever, you know, whatever mob you're fighting, it will heal their target. Next up, I have Protective Warder, which grants my warder bolstering power. Give it what is it? A chance to trigger heals, right? This is another target of target heal. Now I run this It's a short duration buff. I try to run as much as I can, but it's more of a defensive one. I think there's an aggressive one you can go with also that does a different proc. I like this one because I prefer the defensive, in all honesty. Elliptic Fury, this is our current level progression skill. It increases HP, mana, and damage of me and my pets. Gives us a better chance to flurry, so it's just a nice little buff. It increases the pet's chance to flurry by 92%, lowers the amount of damage you take from damage shields, increases my chance to flurry by 38, adds a chance for your pet to rampage, and speeds up all melee attacks. Now it says, no, it's the whole group. Yeah, that does the whole group. So this buffs my my pet, my stuff. It buffs my mage, buffs my shaman, buffs my shadow knight pets. So it's an all around great little buff, and this is the current level one from 120. I believe there is going to be another one at 125 from the Outer Brood expansion, so we'll upgrade to that then. Then we have Kievan Blood, which is a dot. I don't run a lot of dots, but if I was not multi-boxing, I would run dots more than I would run nukes, if that makes any sense. There's a little bit more damage out of the dots than the nukes, but it just doesn't work that I can I can dot very reliably and effectively, especially with like the different timers and stuff like that. But this one does 22,000 damage initial, and then 20,000 damage over time. So this one I like to run at all times, and I only swap it out when I need to, because one, it's almost like a nuke, right? Like, watch this. Click it. It's near instant cast, and it puts that dot on there, right? It's got what was that recast time? It's got in near instant recast time, but these other ones will refresh beforehand. So it's going to be ticking down, you know, doing damage no matter what. So it's kind of nice to have. It's really fun. And then Solara's Furious Chill, which is another one of the same kind of thing. Initial 19,000 cold, and then 17,000 over time. Now, this one's not in my multi-mine. I have it out. But it's the same thing as this poison one. It's just you want poison or you want poison or cold. So your choice, really. And then we have Shared Merciless Ferocity, which is our group attack buff. Now, this hasn't been updated since level 100. So it's an older spell. Eventually, I'd like to try to get the rank 3, but, you know, that's, you know, doing a level 100 raid to get that. Then we have Panthea's Aggression, which is just another warder buff. This one gives the pet 25% less hatred generation, 37% more accuracy, increases the minimum damage it does by 26%, and it loses 14% health and 63 armor. So he's not much of a tank with this on, but he gains a little bit more DPS, which is great because as long as Hobbs is alive, none of the pets need to tank. Now, I do run with Pet Taunt on the Beastlord pet. I do run it with the Mage pet. I do not run it on the Shaman pet, and I sure as hell don't do it on the Shadow Knight pet. I do it all on the major pet classes because I do have a raid focus earring from the Burning Lands, so she does get a possibly, I don't even know if it still works. Yeah, it says up to 125. I do have that, so the pet is a little bit stronger than it, you know, like it would normally be, so it can take a hit or two. Like I've killed Zelandikar a few times, and you know the pet will draw aggro, obviously, because it's pet taunting, and he will you know, take a few hits here and there, but it overall so far so good. And then I do leave the pet memorized in slot 13 because I don't know what else to put there right now. And I find it to be kind of convenient if the pet does die for some reason, which I have had happen, right? You know, things go awry, the pet, you know, does his own thing and dies. I can just resummon one real quick, so it's pretty nice. So that's the normal basic spells I do. Over here is like kind of my buffing bar, if you will, and I have, you know, the aggression spell. I have the protective spell. I got the taste blood, which Right click that, gives our chance 80% chance to trigger Blood Frenzy, which gives them a chance to increase their flurry and stuff like that on the pet. It's a nice little damage buff every time they get a kill, if they get a kill. Then we have Hobble of Spirits, which is a snare proc for the pet. It's pretty nice. I like it, actually. We get that at level 59, and yeah, it's pretty good. Improved natural invisibility, obviously that's, you know, turns us invisible. Pet Unity, I do Comrades Unity, which is the current pet buff combo spell. See if we can get that one memorized and go there. So it does Unsurpassed Velocity and Spirit of Silver. Spirit of Silver fills the warder with you know, great power, increasing some of its stats, giving it a chance to perform 2100 proc. Also lowers the hatred by 12,000 and stuns the target up to 123 for 1.5 seconds, and reflects Prism Skin, which absorbs the next 2 attacks. It's a very nice spell, in all honesty. And the other one is just a Pet Haste that does some other extra stuff on there too. And that puts it's haste on the whole group, so it's kind of nice there. So I do that, and then we do Chieftain's Unity as our Beastlord buff. I don't even know what to call it. And this is Spiritual Vigor and Spiritual Iteration, if I can say that right. One is an HP buff with a mana regen, and no, one's an HP buff for 4,700 with an attack of 413. The other is an HP, mana, and endurance buff, regen buff there. So definitely nice to have that on at all times. There are obviously stacking issues aside for whatever classes that would have stacking issues, like Paladin and whatnot. So you got to be careful there. I don't know if it has any issues with Shadow Knight. I've never really noticed. And then Spirit of Wolf for Spirit of Tal attack there. My Shaman has Spirit of Tal attack, and the Beastlord gets spam. There's a lot of overlap, I would say, between the Shaman and the Beastlord, and they, you know, they share some spells like, you know, the slow lines and the haste lines and all that stuff. So it's just, yeah, it's, you know, there's a little overlap there, but it's not enough to like cause any issue. Just, you know, I can do things from the Beastlord that I don't have to do from the Shaman, right? All right, so that's a long-winded way of me saying all my spells and stuff. I have a hide corpse macro, just hides the corpse and forges. Pet attack button, you know, have my pet attack whatever my target is. I don't think that's actually supposed to be there. That's not even a macro, so I don't know what that one is. We have assist, which is another pet attack, plus use a mod rod. And 4 and 5 are my multi-binds, so we'll go into those. Same button on 5. And so we have we do Epileptic Fury, Lance, Blight, Bite, Phoralgia, Maelstrom, Blood, right? Those are the spells that we do in that order. Then we have Clopper, which is our current level Savage Hand attack. Just another discipline there. And then we have Attack of the Warder, which summons some swarm pets. Then we have Eruption of Chaos, which is Eruption of Claws. I mean, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see what the hell that says down there. Let's see, this is strikes 3 targets in front of you. So this one's an AoE attack. Now, I took out the AoE spell. There's an AoE spell, a cold nuke. I took that out because I was getting her killed constantly. And I probably should take this one out because this will get her killed. It will hit mobs that are not currently 100% aggro by the tank and cause her death. So there's something to worry about there, but not too big a deal. Bestial Fierceness. This increases our minimum melee damage, gives our warder some more, gives us a chance to hit harder, gives us more accuracy, and does the exact same thing for the warder. So it's a nice little buff there. Spiritual Frenzy. Frenzy of Spirits. Activate increases our melee speed by 100, attack power by 650, and reduces our base weapon delay of 60%. It's very nice. Gives us a lot of extra melee power. Roar of Thunder deals 40,000 damage, reduces the target's hatred for us by 130,000 damage, and reduces their strength and all that. So it's a nice little debuff to have on there. I do it on cooldown. Group Bestial Alignment. This turns everybody into a beast and gives them some more stats. And 55% more melee damage, 30% more chance to resist, and turns them all into little trees or whatever the hell it is. Wolves, I think, sometimes. You know, it does a lot. Now, I do this one on cooldown. This is a 12 minute cooldown and 1 minute duration, right? Now in my burn, I do the single target one for myself. And I feel like that's the best way to go because it does, you know, where is it at here? Bestial alignment here. So yeah, this grants us a 300,000 or 300% damage increase to our melee, 40% chance to resist. It's stronger than the single target one, but I feel like it's better for the burn section. So that's where I have it right now. See, Warder's Gift. When activated, consumes 50% of your Warder's health to give me back 70,000 health, right? So I have that on pretty much cooldown. And, you know, I can probably not do it, but it's a heal that I get. So if I'm taking damage and I do not heal any of my characters except for my tank, everybody else gets splash heals in the fact that they're AoE spells, healing, and anything that I can do to heal a character without me having to actually think about it is perfect. And I just do it on cooldown, 2 minutes and 30 seconds for 70,000 health. I think it's worth it. Enduring Frenzy. This is see, marks our target with runes. It's brightest chance, 160% bonus to strike on melee, 4,000 endurance. So it's a nice little endurance buff for I guess anybody in the group can benefit from this one, so that's pretty nice. On cooldown. It works pretty well. It's something, you know, it likes to have the bard meleeing when that goes out. Frenzied Swipes reduces the reuse time of my round kick by 4 seconds. So, you know, this one probably could just be a passive, honestly. I don't know why it's an active one, but it should be a passive. See here. Reflexing. What is this? I don't even have the right one there, do I? No, there is not an upgrade to this one for some reason. Or I didn't buy it. So this is a timer 19, right? Like I do all my stuff based on timers, and looks like there's no upgrade to this one. Maybe in maybe at 119 or no 124. Maybe at 124 there's a update for this. I'd have to look at my 125 Beastlord and see. Your steel reflexes deliver in a 4 hand-to-hand attacks, targeting on your target, reflecting, reviving, reflect, arriving. Oh jeez, right there. Which restores 10,000 endurance, which will restore 10,000 endurance. So perfect. All right, so that's pretty nice. And then we got Chameleon Strike, which this is another hand-to-hand attack that does a base damage of 200 and reduces hatred by 7,500. And then we have Consume Spirit, which takes 45,000 health for 26,000 mana. Now, if you listen to everything I've said so far, you'll know that I'm healing myself, I'm consuming myself, and I don't heal myself at all, other than splash heals. Now, it all works together as a group. When the shaman's doing his job, everybody else is doing their job. This character never even takes damage that I notice, right? But you wouldn't want this in your multi-bind otherwise. Probably you'd want to save it for situations where you want to focus on it. To me, it's not a big deal. She's got what, 320,000 health at the moment, so 45,000 is not too bad. I am going to upgrade all their gear here very soon so that they're in Lorien Song Tier 1, but I haven't done that yet. But that is my spells. That is my multi-bind. Let's talk about my burn. The burn. Yeah, this is where it is. So, start here with Spire of the Savage Lord. I don't know why I have Spire of the Savage Rangor there, but I think that was a different name of the spell. Word. Oh gosh. So this is like all the spires. They're just nice little, group buffs or single target buffs. They mostly focus on, some kind of buff to you, right? So this one gives us Apex of the Savage Lord, which increases the minimum damage, accuracy, and attack power. And Companion, which grants your summon companion's melee 100% chance to trigger that. So it's a nice little buff. That's the best I can say about there. Then we have Beastlord Alignment, which increases our melee damage by 300% and a 45% chance to resist spells, and turns us into, I think, a tree as a wood elf. I think I blocked it, so I don't have to endure that nonsense. Then we have Forceful Rejuvenation, which resets spell timers. I don't know exactly which ones it resets, but when I start my burn, I want everything I can reset, so I'm good to go to cast everything. Then we use our Breastplate, which right here. Don't mind my terrible transmog. I thought I had all the pieces for this Zlandikar ice look, and it turns out I didn't. I'm missing a few pieces. I was going for something, but didn't turn out as well as I thought. So this is the breastplate. Obviously, this is an older breastplate, but when you click it, it will do Fury of the Beast, which triggers Fury of the Warder on myself, allowing my warder's next 8 bash attacks to deal 58,000 damage, which is pretty nice. And then we have Savage Rancor, which I don't know if that one got updated. I haven't really updated this part yet, so that's through timer 3. There's no timer 3 upgrade, so this is a level 104 discipline. Consumes your warder in a savage rage, greatly increasing its melee damage, right? Unfortunately, there's no upgrade to that right now. But that's my burns. And that's pretty much everything. I don't know why these are not in there. Yeah, Bloodlust will give us 100% chance to trigger melee attacks. Oh yeah. I'm dumb. Dumb. There's a second button. All right, I was wondering why there. Okay, so in my second burn button, number 8, I guess I clicked the same one twice, and I didn't notice it. This one will give our melee 100% chance to proc our melee weapons, which is a nice little bit of damage. And then we have what is this one? Raburi's Fury, which increases the damage mitigation of my weapon speed, increasing the chance you or your pets will do for flurries. So that's pretty nice. I don't think there's an upgrade for that one. I saw, yeah, there isn't. And then I have the wrong one there. Obviously, I just noticed it. This one is, I just bought it, like literally right before the video. See here, this is Ken Jen's Vindication. Now this will trigger Vindication, whatever. They just a bunch of stuff. There is 62,000 damage to each dot we cast during that time. Now we're only casting 1 dot during the multi-bind, so there's limited amount there. But if I was not multi-boxing this, you could get a lot more damage out of that. And then we do have Blood Coder's Drink, which is a vampiric aura, which gives 2% of our melee back as health, right? So that's pretty nice. All right, whew. Mouthful there. Let's see here. That is all of that. I do cast Paragon of Spirit. In fact, Paragon of Spirit is the reason why I actually put a Beastlord in this group versus another mage, because what I ran into in one of the issues I had running 3 mages was mana. And so my thought process was, I will throw a Beastlord instead of 1 mage, and I will get a lot more mana back. And in actuality, that is true. Paragon of Spirit, along with the Feather, and along with better gear, Really resolves a lot of mana issues that you can run into with pure casters. So definitely really nice. The downside is you have to go melee, and you do that to get the maximum damage out of the character. But overall, it's pretty good. Let's see here. That's everything there. Self buff. There's a lot of junk in there. So we do Pack of the Warreen. This is our self buff that gives us a bunch of stats, kind of like the Shaman group aura. So this one gives us, turns us into a werewolf, a white one. Increases our accuracy, movement speed, and mana, endurance, all that stuff, right? And then we get some mana regeneration out of it by 140. Now, I don't have the highest rank, so obviously the higher ranks are better, but whatever. Then we have group shrink. So this is obviously 3. When I push myself buff, everybody shrink everybody, because I like all my characters small. So that's kind of really the point of that. I don't know what this other one is. Here, let's just click it and see. Oh, Fearless Unity. I don't know. I don't have that one down here. All right, I can show that one real quick. Pack of the Warreen. Where is Unity? Here, right here. So Unity, it just casts Nature's Alliance, or Natural Alliance, which causes some of your conquest life to be stored in your warder. When you slay creatures, your warder skin will protected by that spell. Then healed for 7,600 every 6 seconds. So it's like one of those on-kill kind of things. You get a little buff to your pet. Obviously, no, it doesn't work as well as you think it would, because on-kill effects are dumb. All right, so there we go. And then I do click my familiar. So we have I think this is Empire's Kunark familiar. You want to make sure you always use those. And yeah, that's that. Gear wise, let's I don't think she has any in her bags like this. Her bag is absolutely destroyed. Yeah, let's see here. Bazaar. It's Gallant. Now the best gear you can get at 120 is Gallant Reconnaissance armor, right? This is dropped from Lorian's song names and stuff like that, and you can buy all the ore and all the things you need to do the combines in Lorien Inn. And I think it's 220,000 for a full set, all 8 pieces, minus whatever you pay, or from the for the actual container. But you can see here, fairly good armor, 11,000 arms. It's this is it's a 4,500 hit point upgrade, right? Everything's green, right? You rarely see everything being green, right? So definitely a significant upgrade when I go buy this stuff next time I get. Definitely good. You want a full set of that. You're also going to want let me see if how can I find it here. Let's do minimum level 120. I know I have a whole bunch of this junk on another character where I throw all my stuff, but if I sort like that, and we're gonna go primary, abide. Yeah, this one works. No, that's not the one I want. Surely. Let's do this. Let's sort by ratio here. Now you're gonna want to go with the one-handers, obviously, which is going to be reprisal. This is going to be the offhand, and you're gonna want, which is the baton. Yeah, you're gonna want the baton that's like that one, I believe. Yeah, let's see if I can find the tier 1 one. Just can't remember. Can't remember the name of it. It's called baton, I guess. I know I have a bunch of them on the other my other character. There I store all this junk. I think I threw it on my... yeah, that's it right there. I think that's it. So these are what you're going to want. You're going to want to main hand the baton, offhand the reprisal, and that'll be your, you know, kind of best weapons. Now, if we take a look at like what I'm using now, which, you know, this is a 15 DPS to a 23 DPS, huge upgrade there. If you want to spend a little bit more money, you can buy the Memory Forged version, which is equivalent to, I think, the raid gear from like 2 expansions ago, which is a 27 DPS, right? So you'd want to main hand the baton, offhand the Qatar or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, the Qatar. You can definitely see here that I would benefit greatly from upgrading any of this stuff. So definitely a nice option there. But that's what you'd want to go for, and you'd want to go for all the Lorien Song Tier 1 gear for all the other slots. And then you would want to get the best earring you can possibly get. The very best you could get, probably, I don't know the difference between the Tier 3 Night of Shadows and the Tier 1 Lorien Song off the top of my head. I don't even know what the Tier 1 Lorien Song earring is to like look it up, but you would want to see what the, you know, which one has the best pep enhanced minion, right? That's going to be what you want. So the highest enhanced minion you can get is really what you want. You should be set from that until 125, and then you'd want the Outer Brood group Tier 3 gear in every slot except for the neck, the ring, and I'm sure there's another slot I'm forgetting. Maybe the earring, because of the Rallo Zek one from TOV still might be pliable in group content, but maybe not. But the neck comes from the Lorien Song group, and the ring comes from the Outer Brood group missions. But there we go. I think that's pretty much everything. AA wise, I go pure offensive, going for whatever you know, offensive AAs I can use to increase my damage. And then I go for also the focused here. So every time we do Haro, which is I think it's this one, Clobber. Let me see here. That's a timer 9. Where is Haro? Right there, timer 9. So the timer 9 spell, this one, Clobber is what triggers it for me. You want to do that because it'll give everybody a chance to increase their melee damage by 14,000 for 20 attacks. So it's a nice little bonus there. You want to do that on cooldown also, but I'm already doing Clobber on cooldown, so it triggers it anyway. But you do want to upgrade that to the maximum tier. Each one gives, you know, like 14 to 21,000. That's like free damage. And it adds up because everybody in the group gets it for 20 strikes. So, I mean, somebody could do the math there. You know, 20 times whatever that is, that's a huge amount. So that's 200 AAs per pop. So, you know, you're probably 1,000 AAs into that, and you're going to be doing some nice damage. So that's, you know, something you want to focus on. I used to, like, just recently they changed it so this affects the entire spell line versus the specific spell for that expansion. Which is a great change because you're not as like, oh gosh, I gotta get this immediately or my spells suck, right? So it's a nice little change there. But there's definitely a lot of offensive ones you can go for, and then after I get all the offensive ones, I get any defensive ones I want, and then I get whatever else there is. So that's kind of my AA priority. I'm not gonna say, you know, spend all your points on this first, right? Like, you know, it's what you play, what you use, right? Like, just looking at my spell bars, you know, I'm gonna upgrade anything that advances Clobber, anything that advances any of my spells. Those are gonna be first because those are what I do most of the time. Anything in my multi-bind is my top priority on maxing out the damage for. So that's pretty much that. I don't really think I got anything else, but if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And I will try my best to answer. There should be a link to the Beastlord Discord in the description of this video if you want to go talk to other like-minded Beastlords that would definitely be able to help you out with your issues or stuff like that. I do not play my character as optimized as it possibly could be. If I was playing it solo, there would be some things I would change, but I am not playing solo. I'm playing an ensemble, and I do what affects that helps the group more than what would be the best, right? So this, you know, taking target to target heals helps the group versus taking, you know, some offensive stuff. So, you know, things like that, you know, less dots because I can't manage them, so it's just easier to do it this way. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, or, you know, or jump on my Discord and we can have a conversation. I think the owner of the Beastlord Discord is frequently in my Discord, so you can talk to him also, and he will answer any questions for you at any time. So if you have, that's that. Thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.